Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg in the Colosseum in Italy, duking it out MMA style. Who is going to win? Now, I don't know that will actually happen. It would be cool, but apparently this MMA fight is in the works between the two. And Mark Zuckerberg has officially launched his Twitter killer, Threads. It went live last night and has signed up already 23 million people. Now, depending on which part of the internet you live in, you're hearing different stories. I love this from the Daily Beast. Zuckerberg twists the knife in Twitter as millions flock to Threads. You know, it is so embarrassing for these people. They've been trying to quit Twitter. They can't do it. And actually, I do have a tweet. Maybe I can pull it up. This is when Sunny Bunch posts a picture of Dr. Manhattan and writes, "It is 2023 and I am joining Mastodon. It is 2023 and I am joining Blue Sky. It is 2023 and I am joining Threads." Oh boy, over and over again, leftists and liberals are like, I'm going to leave Twitter and go to this platform. And then they don't. Sort of they do sometimes, but these platforms never work. Now, I signed up for Threads, wanted to see what it was all about, and it's awful. You know, I don't hate Mark Zuckerberg. I don't. I think he's done bad things, and I don't think there's any like grand and nefarious plot. I think the dude is actually kind of out of it. Like he made a social media platform, government comes in, creepy investors comes in, and he just, doots along with all of these awful things, and he really just doesn't get it. But I think he does a lot of bad things. That being said, I don't hate the guy. I think a lot of powerful people do things we don't like, and I'm hoping maybe he can do right with this platform. I really doubt it. Already, Threads by Meta is censoring people for talking about gender or the like. Meanwhile, you've got leftists and liberals saying, can you ban politics? We don't want to talk about politics. Oh, I'm sure everyone will want to use your conversation platform, not for conversations. It makes literally no sense. I'm going to tell you why. I think this app will be another flash in the pan. Come on, Blue Sky exists. Remember Google Plus? Everybody's tried to make some kind of competition to each other's platforms. They tend not to work. I'll tell you why Twitter worked. It's actually quite simple. Because at the time when it launched, it was the free speech wing of the free speech party. That's what Jack Dorsey said, or I don't know if it was Dorsey, but that's what Twitter said. You could go on the platform and there would be a celebrity. There would be a member of Congress. For the first time, this is revolutionary. For the first time, you could tell a member of Congress directly on their post to screw off. That's what it was. So many people would see a congressman on TV, a congresswoman, a politician on TV, and they couldn't say anything. I mean, you can call their office, maybe send a postcard, but it's not really that effective. All of a sudden, when this person tweets something like, we're going to, pass this new tax funding bill to fund this program, you could respond, you are stupid. Your taxes are stupid. Stop raising my taxes. You could actually call a politician stupid. You could also ask serious questions. You could actually, I remember this back in the day, in the early days of like Twitter's, I've been on Twitter since 2009. I remember back in the early days, there'd be a celebrity and you would tweet something like, hey, celebrity, big fan of your movie, really cool. And they'd respond and they'd be like, thank you for, you'd be like, whoa, I actually just talked with insert famous actor. It became most powerful when protest movements started using the platform to discuss their ideas. And there's Occupy Wall Street and related protests where activists were using the platforms to spread political ideology. And this led to fierce debate. Well, here's what ends up happening. Twitter and their crackpot loser of management, a combination of things, started taking direction from government. We know that now because there's Biden, the Biden admin, is filing an appeal with the government to be able to censor people's speech. It's a really remarkable attempt, by the way. But it used to be that you could debate things. And then liberals and leftists were like, we're terrified of ideas that we don't know how to argue against. Stop. And so what happens? They start banning anybody who says things like there are only two genders. They make misgendering a violation. Now, Twitter starts banning people. So it's no surprise Twitter stagnated. Twitter is not Facebook. Twitter is not Instagram. Twitter is not TikTok. What is TikTok? There's a lot of politics on TikTok, and they ban everybody who disagrees with their crackpot ideology. But TikTok is a lot of non-political stuff for the most part. It's, people dancing and pointing to like a cheeseburger and stuff like that. It's a lot of just like really general content. I do think TikTok is very, very bad for censoring politics. Instagram, what's that? There's a lot of memes. Not so much. So for the most part, it's like, here's a photo of my life. What's Facebook? A phone book. Facebook is a phone book. That's really what it is. I message people sometimes on the Facebook app, Messenger app. What is Twitter? Public square, where conversation and debate can occur. So if Mark Zuckerberg thinks he's going to create an app where you cannot have conversations, where the point of the app is to have conversations, I would just like to cue up that image from Iron Man 1 when Jim Cramer says, this is a weapons company that doesn't make weapons. Sell, 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 and then hits the mug with the baseball bat. Facebook, Meta Threads, is a conversation app that doesn't allow conversations. Amazing attempt at being stupid. Seriously? It's incredible. But hold on there a minute, my friends. NBC News says Instagram Threads bursts out of the gate with more than 23 million signups. Sure, I signed up. I want to see what was going on at the platform. And then you have the Daily Beast's Zuckerberg twists the knife in Twitter as millions flock to Threads. Blah, blah, blah. I love this one. Mark Zuckerberg tweeted on Twitter. He tweeted, Spider-Man pointing at each other. Dude, you know what? This actually is a fair representation of what I think is going on. If you truly understand this image, you will understand Mark Zuckerberg's failure. Oh, no. Zuck. You see, this image is an imposter Spider-Man on the left pointing to the actual Spider-Man on the right. That's right. The guy on the left is not really Spider-Man. You can tell by the strange uniform, the outfit that he is wearing that is not all the same as the actual Spider-Man's. Yeah. And that's what it is. Threads is not a Twitter killer. I really doubt it will take off. There are many people saying, I posted on Threads, why use this app? And there are people saying, because I've been banned from Twitter and Elon Musk won't unban me. Bro, if you think Mark Zuckerberg is going to be more lenient on your conversations, good luck. They're already banning people. They're already censoring things. Here we go. Let's talk about Threads. This is a tweet from Low IQ K9. I don't know who this is, but I saw this this tweet, and I saw someone had referenced it. And this is what their complaint was. There's no search bar. There are no hashtags. The timeline is non-chronological. It has sponsored influencers you don't follow or care about. You can't turn those things off. Basically, the app is dead in the water for creators. Without hashtags or a search bar, the only way right now for a post to gain traction is by reposts, which you already need a sizable follower base from Instagram to rely on. And even then, those will be buried in the influencer spam. And for non-creators, without a search bar, they're relying on other platforms for you to find people to follow, which at that point, you could just use that platform. And without any content on there, without creators, there isn't much to do. It's closer to Facebook than Twitter, IMO. I agree. I agree. This is a big problem with Instagram. You know how you get followers on Instagram? You be famous. Seriously. You be famous. I don't post all that often, and I gain followers. People follow me on Instagram, even though I post like once a month or something. I'm posting some skateboard. I posted some skateboard clips recently, and I'll post some memes and like news articles. But for the most part, no one shares your post. Now, you can like a post on Instagram, and then someone can see in their feed that you liked a post, and they can discover you that way. But discovery is very, very difficult. On Twitter, it's very easy. Why? You tweet, someone retweets. Then someone else retweets. It creates an exponential wave of people retweeting you, and you gain lots of followers. That's why Twitter works. It allows a regular person to speak something, and the best ideas take off. It's really amazing. It's meritocratic. 100 people tweet an idea. Some of those get retweets. One of those gets more retweets. Everyone then agrees, and that one gets 1 billion views. That's happened. And the left's like, there's no way that tweet got 1 billion views. Yeah, it got embedded in news articles. So yes, it did. Yeah, some woman posted some joke, and they were like, Elon Musk is lying. This tweet can't have 1 billion views. And they don't realize that The tweet was embedded in a whole bunch of news articles. And many of those views they're not unique views. It's people seeing the tweet over and over again. So yeah. Doge designer says Meta's new app was built entirely using this keyboard, and it's a keyboard with 3 buttons, Control C and V. That means copy and paste. Elon Musk responded with a laughing face. And then I think we got another one. Internal tech emails. Elon Musk on Instagram, August 21st, 2018. He said, I just deleted my Instagram weak sauce. Yeah. I don't know exactly why. He says, it is definitely preferable to be attacked by strangers on Twitter than indulge in the false happiness of hide the pain Instagram. It is. Yeah, people are not. Look, the Daily Beast is saying that Zuckerberg's twisting the knife because it's cult. It's cultism. It's a tribal cultism. Let's just break it down reasonably and rationally. Blue Sky did not work. Mastodon did not work. Threads has a very low probability of working. There's no search bar. There's no hashtags. It's bulky. People have limited followers. Why use it at all, especially with censorship? There is a possibility it does take off to some degree because it is integrated with Instagram. And so anybody who follows me on Instagram or signs up can instantly just follow me by clicking a button. Not following me, they can say like follow all the same people. So I did that. Here's the thing, my friends. Twitter for me, it's the newsreel. Who do I follow on Twitter? People I don't follow people on Twitter that I want to see family photos of. Instagram, for the most part, I follow some interesting travel accounts. It's fun. It's not news, culture, and politics like Twitter is. Twitter is our water cooler. It is our news feed. Why use Threads? Conversations spark anger. They always talk about, don't go to Thanksgiving and talk about money, religion, or politics. That's conversation, always. You know, I was hanging out with some people a while ago. I had a conversation with some friends, and we were talking about why every single time we start talking, it turns political. Because that's what talking is. Now, of course, you can talk about sports, but even sports brings up. I'm not trying to. Even sports can get political with like Colin Kaepernick and stuff. I'm not trying to say everything's political. It sort of is. The left likes to say that. What I'm saying is, someone will say something like, "Man, I got pulled over the other day. It's BS. They said I was speeding." Where do you think that leads to? Now you're opening the door to police, unnecessary fines, the Constitution, speeding laws, etc. The conversation typically does not go to, what kind of car were you driving? Was it a fast car? I once built a fast car. No, the conversation typically goes to, yeah, dude, I once got pulled over and this cop did X, Y, and Z and it was BS. The conversation invariably begins to turn political. And then you're like, well, that's why you got to vote for this person. That's why you got to vote for that person. This is the point of conversation. They get dirty. Instagram is pictures of life. It's a vanity filter. You take a picture of you, visiting the Eiffel Tower, and you show people like, look at this thing I saw. I mean, you can post conflict and crisis on Instagram, but people don't really want to see that. Granted, memes do work really well on Instagram, so there's that. Michael Schellenberger says, Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Meta's new app, Threads, has promised users a better experience than Twitter, but he is censoring users and offering no avenue of appeal. I should highlight this. This one's very important. Daily Mail says, everyone running back to Twitter after trying Threads for 5 minutes. Social media erupts with memes slamming Zuckerberg's new app to rival Elon's as they complain about bugs and lack of basic features. Yep. Everyone running back to Twitter after trying Threads for 5 minutes. And it's a funny little video. Seeing the people you know from Twitter on Threads. Haha. Everyone running back to Twitter, and it's that half Super Bowl show. Here we go. Musk's Twitter or Zuckerberg's Threads, and it's Homer on a wrecking ball between a rock and a hard place. It's a bar called A Hard Place. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Everyone's basically posting the same thing, but I think this is the important takeaway. Schellenberger says on Threads, the founder of Threads, Zuck and Mosseri, have promised a better experience for users, but they're already censoring users and offering no avenue to appeal. The American people have given broad legal liability protection known as Section 230, which allows Threads, Twitter, Facebook, and all social media platforms to exist. Shouldn't we have a right to appeal our censorship? Shouldn't we get full transparency? He goes on, hi, Zuck, hi, Mosseri. Congrats on the launch. I saw this warning on user's account. Are you considering other ways of making content moderation and censorship transparent at Threads? Are you operating de-amplification lists and filtering mechanisms, etc., etc.? DC Drano posted, first 5 minutes on Threads and already censored. What a platform. And what did he say? It says, we are live on Threads and ready to expose Biden's corrupt government. And when you try to follow DC Drano, it says, are you sure you want to follow DC Drano? This account has repeatedly posted false information that has been reviewed by independent fact checkers, blah, blah, blah. Here's a good one. Steve McGuire says, looks like that's the plan. Mark Cuban said, hey, Zuck, you sure you have to open this up to everyone? It's pretty nice right now. Amazing people on here. Zuck says, the goal is to keep it as friendly as it expands. I think it's possible and will ultimately be the key to its success. That's one reason why Twitter never succeeded as much as I think it should have, and we want to do it differently. Let me tell y'all a story. I've been on Facebook forever. I remember when Facebook launched. I remember when Twitter launches, and I said, why would I use Twitter? I can post an update in 140 characters or whatever. I can post that on Facebook. I can post a status update on Facebook saying, hey, guys, I'm going to do this thing. I can also connect with my friends, message them privately. Twitter doesn't offer any of that. Why use it? Well, there was a reason. Because it was a simple way to have conversations with each other, with people who didn't follow you. See, on Facebook, you make a post, your friends could see it. On Twitter, you make a post, anyone could see it. That was the point. And that meant sometimes people would fight with each other. If Mark Zuckerberg thinks he's going to make a crappier version of Facebook on Instagram, why would anybody use that? Especially with increased censorship. Here's another one. Can we focus on kindness? We are definitely focusing on kindness and making this a friendly place. Are we really? Yeah, I don't see it. I really don't. Sonny Bunch hit the nail on the head with the hammer. I am joining Mastodon. I am joining Blue Sky. I am joining Threads. Nah, I just don't see it. One person tweeted, this is from Daily Mail. How did y'all expect Threads to be better than Twitter when they can't even fix Instagram? Me counting all the new bugs and basic features Thread lacks. That's right. They say people can control who mentions them, who can reply to them on the new app. Replies to threads containing specific words can be filtered out and blah, 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 blah. Any accounts a user has blocked on Instagram will automatically be blocked on the new app. There's already a bunch of people who are talking about their posts having been removed. I saw one person post how they said something like there are only 2 genders or whatever, censored. Why would anyone use an app that's worse than Twitter? Twitter has critical mass. Twitter affects politics. Followers are already there. First, I'll tell you the real hurdle. As with all of these platforms, the real hurdle is getting followers. That's the reality. You can't get followers. Why use the app? Everybody's got 1,000,001 apps to use, a bunch of accounts. What's happening is that people are signing up as placeholders in case it does take off. They want to make sure their username is saved. I'm pretty sure that Threads just uses your Instagram, so you can't take someone else's Instagram name. I'm going to make a post. I got 1.7 million followers on Twitter. This is the challenge. A lot of people, I remember Parler, Gab, all these other platforms. Listen, I have only so much time. I'm going to make a post. I want it to have maximum impact. Now, we here at Timcast, there are multiple employees who handle social media and various posts. So it's not as difficult when I post something on YouTube for it to be posted on all other video platforms because we have a team who can do that. But for the average person, it doesn't make sense. Why make a post to a platform that no one will see it? You're likely to get banned. You struggle to get any attention. No one can search for you. And then you have 3,000 followers. It does not make sense. Why engage in a conversation platform where you will get banned if you have a conversation? This is what Mark Zuckerberg is going to do with Threads and kindness. Someone will say, I went to a political event today and I saw a thing. And all the responses will be like, thing is good. You're good. We like thing. Thing is good. What's the point? There's no real conversation. It's like daycare. It's a waste of time. There will be no meaningful debate. There will be no rage baiting. There will be no conflict or controversy. The Young Turks are embroiled in it once again because they're taking obvious liberal positions that the left hates. Anna Kasparian said, don't refer to women's parts as bonus holes. And they were like, liar, liar, that never happened. But Anna is correct, it did. That kind of thing won't happen on Threads. It's unkind. If you say don't refer to women's parts as bonus holes, I wouldn't be surprised if Threads censors your post and says, hey, you're being mean to people who use the word bonus hole. And this is the issue with the left and wokeness. They will insult you. They will make slurs. And they will argue it's kindness. They say cisgender is not a slur, despite the fact they only ever use it in a negative context to insult people. Seriously, look it up. Look up on Twitter, CIS, cis and cisgender, and what will you find? Derisive language. Very rarely do you get any conversation where someone will say something to the effect of, when meeting with a trans person or a cis person, we have interesting and beautiful conversations. That's rare. Typically what they'll say is, cis people do this thing and cis people do that thing. They're using it in a way to isolate a group of people for derision. They argue it's not a slur, it's a scientific term. Well, homo is a scientific term, still a slur when applied to gay people. This is the game. If Mark Zuckerberg thinks he can make a platform with kindness, he is laughably ignorant. Because what you really have is two factions who say things that either side does not like. Mark Zuckerberg will just end up creating a vapid, disgusting, and rage-filled platform for liberals. He can ban them all he wants. It will still get bad. Come on. Mark Cuban threading, whatever you want to call it. You shouldn't allow, it's so nice here. We should keep it this way. That's offensive. What people is he talking about? Is he being racist, sexist, bigoted? Only some people? Elitist? Who's he talking about? You see, that's offensive and unkind. It is unkind of you, Mark Cuban, to say that certain people shouldn't be allowed on a platform without specifying what you're talking about. Certain people? What does that mean? Come on, Zuck. You defended that? Please. Your platform is already garbage. You either make a platform where people can speak and debate, or you don't have one at all. And for that reason, Elon Musk is correct, and he's actually fixing Twitter. I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.